Be grateful for the bad, for it can always be worse. I hate it when people leave the door open when they come in the house. I always tell them, close the door. You're gonna let whatever in, right? All kind of stuff can come in when the door is open. Flies, they come in. And once they're in, they don't go out. They're gonna circle the whole house. You can leave a window open, and they'll go to the window that's closed. And now you got the fly in the house. But that's just the bad. I wouldn't mind that much as I would mind the worst, which is mosquitoes. We have mosquitoes here. Flies, don't bother me so much. But mosquitoes, close the door so you don't let the mosquitoes in, because the mosquitoes, they love coming in here, and they love me. And I despise mosquitoes. I'm allergic to them. So that's the worst for me. But then again, that would be bad compared to something that's worse, and that is rats. Yeah, we have those too here. My grandpa, they had a window open, and apparently a couple of rats came in and infested his basement. For 3 weeks, we cleaned that place up, sanitizing everything from all the poop that the rats left. So I would say, compared to the rats, the mosquitoes don't bother me that much. Oh, mosquitoes come in, no problem, as long as it's not rats. And if you thought rats was bad, well, you could get worse things than that still. You can get all kind of stuff, scorpions, snake, whatever poisonous, you name it, all kind of stuff that I am not even aware of that could come in when you open your door and leave it open. But that principle really works in every area of life. Steven and I were talking yesterday about sin, and specifically the sin of a man with a woman. Can always be worse. See, it's bad enough if you sleep with a woman you're not married to. It's even worse if you've defiled a virgin woman. See, if you're gonna defile somebody, at least defile somebody who's already defiled. Take someone out that's already out. Don't ruin someone good. That would be worse. But still, worse yet, would be not only to defile her, but to get her pregnant. To get her pregnant, well, bad still would be, well, you got her pregnant, now you're gonna at least get married to kind of put a canopy over this mess. But worse yet, you have a baby and you're not married. That's even worse than getting married after the fact. Shouldn't have happened in the first place, but since it did happen, well, at least take some responsibility. Well, and if you thought that was bad, well, worse yet is now you're sleeping with other women and having more babies. Or better yet, another side of the story, if you did get married to that woman, now you're divorced and you have a child. It can always be worse, and that's not to justify any of the bad things you've done, but just to show you that things can always get even worse than that. And you really gotta catch yourself at every intersection and ask yourself, what is the right decision as of now? Because you've already missed door number 1, door number 2, door number 3, door number 4, but there's always another door. You've already fornicated, you've already got her pregnant. Well, at least now do the right thing, marry her. And now that you've married her, and you obviously don't like each other because it was all based on lust, there's no true love, at least do the right thing and stay married for the child's sake. Put up with each other. At least for that child's sake. Learn to live together as human beings. Learn to love each other. Love is not an emotion, it's a devotion. Learn to love. Do what love does for the sake of that child. And don't bring up another child, that's another thing. Now you think you like each other, you get her pregnant again. Now you got 2 children in a marriage that doesn't have any love in it, except for lust. You can always make things worse, but you can always kind of maintain them and protect them. And it's a decision that you have to face at every intersection, like I said, every interaction. There's always that choice. Commit one crime. Are you going to commit another one to cover up the first? See, it's one thing to steal something. It's another thing to cover up your tracks. I remember some movie, this guy, a cop, young cop, picked up a stranger hitchhiking in the rain, picked him up. And they got into a little dispute in the car, and the cop got nervous, thought the guy had a gun, and he shot him right then in the car. Killed him. Obviously, the guy did not have a gun, but nevertheless, he got panicked, shot him. And then, well, now you already did one crime, now you're faced with a choice. What are you going to do? He could report himself, bring himself in, give the whole story. Or you could try and cover up your tracks. Go to some side thing on the side of the road, dump the body, burn his clothes, burn the car, and flee down to Mexico. Which is what he did, pretty much. There's always a choice. David slept with Bathsheba. That was already a grave violation. Shouldn't have done that. He messed up. He's only human. Weakness of the flesh, right? Messed up. What do you do now? You're going to turn yourself in, come clean? Or you're going to go and try to get rid of the husband to cover up what you've done? Well, again, there's always a choice. And then comes the next choice. When you are rebuked for it with the prophets, what are you going to do? Are you also going to kill the prophet? David didn't, but others did. You do one crime, you do another, you do a third, and then when you found out, you shoot the person rebuking you, calling you out. How dare you call me out? You think you're better than me? That's not the point. The point is you did something wrong, I'm calling it out, you need to repent. God is the judge. Don't shoot the messenger. The Lord is calling out your sin. You've already done what you did, can't change that, but you can change now. Repent. Sure, there's gonna be a consequence, you spend some time in jail, you'll pay reparation, you'll do whatever it takes, but don't make it worse. Better for you to lose an arm than to have the whole body thrown into hell. Okay, you'll suffer. Maybe you'll have to do, whatever. But at least you'll save your life. And isn't that something? Isn't that really the only thing that matters? Well, it's not the only thing that matters, but at this point it does, because you've already lost so much, you've already done so many wicked things. You're not going to be the best that you could have been, but you can still be something. You're not going to sit at the king's throne, but you could sit in the courtyard. Just repent. Whenever the intersection is, whenever the choice is given, choose what is just and right. Turn yourself in. Even if it costs you, it's still the only option. It's the only option. Turn yourself in. And plead for mercy. Beg for mercy. Because the truth about mercy is that none of us deserve it. We only are alive because of God's mercy. He is bountiful in mercy, abundant in grace. If He wasn't, we'd all be dead. So call on Him. Acknowledge your guilt. Acknowledge your sin. And repent. Turn your life around. He will forgive you. That's just how great He is. Has nothing to do with you or me. We don't deserve it. We've done what we've done, but the Lord is merciful. He is the one that delights in forgiving offenses, in giving us life rather than death. That's what He enjoys, and He has that authority and power to do. So call on Him. Turn to Him. He said to David, "You will not die." Why? Because David repented. There was still consequence, there was still punishment, there was still a loss, But he did not die. And isn't that something? Isn't that the one thing that really matters? At the end of the day, all you have is your life. So just humble yourself, own up to what you've done, and stop adding more. Repent and turn your life around.